It's time for my review of the fifine K669D. Inside the box, of course, you get the microphone, a microphone stand adapter with 3/8 and 5/8 inch threading, tripod desk stand, and a manual. The everyday price is beyond affordable at just $36.99 US. Build-wise, the microphone has an all-metal body, a sturdy grill, and some heft to it, like it's the Rode PodMic's cousin from Jersey. This is a dynamic cardioid XLR-only microphone with a frequency response of 50 Hz to 16 kHz, and a sensitivity of -50 dB plus or minus 3 dB. I'm on the Rodecaster Duo, no processing turned on. Later, I'm going to switch to a budget audio interface so you can get a sense of what it would sound like with that. But approximately 6 inches from the head of the microphone, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Now approximately 3 inches from the end of the microphone, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. If you were podcasting with someone in the same room and they were approximately 1 foot from the side of the microphone, here's how it would sound. If you were podcasting in the same room with someone and they were approximately 2 feet away from the microphone, here's how it would sound. If you had someone talking to you from the rear of the microphone about a foot away, here's how it would sound. And if you had someone talking to you from the rear of the microphone 2 feet away, here's how it would sound. If you were typing away while you were podcasting, here's how it would sound. And if you were bumping your boom arm while you were podcasting, here's what it would sound like. As we all know, the Shure SM7B is pretty much the podcast standard microphone. You see it everywhere. So let's put it in line and compare the sound quality. Now I'm back on the Shure SM7B, and here's how it sounds in comparison to the fifine K669. How do you like the sound of the Shure SM7B? No processing turned on the Rodecaster Duo. Does it sound almost $362 better than the K669? Be sure to chime in the comments down below. Back on the K669, here's how it sounds in comparison to the Shure SM7B. I'll be curious to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Next, I'm going to switch from the Rodecaster Duo to the Behringer UM2. Now I'm on the Behringer UM2 paired with the fifine K669. The Behringer UM2 is usually sold new for $59 US, but you can find it used anywhere from the mid $20 into the $30 price range. Here's how it sounds in comparison to the Rodecaster Duo. This would be your budget setup. The Behringer UM2 is having no trouble pushing the K669. Here's how they sound paired together for a complete budget setup. I've switched back to the Rodecaster Duo, no processing of course, for my final thoughts. I found the K669 to be easy to drive. I had no issue driving the microphone with the Behringer UM2 in my OBS program. The fifine K669 reminded me of the Elgato Wave DX in the sense that it's really easy to drive the microphone for me in OBS. Even with the Behringer UM2, I was not pushing that device very hard to get in the range that I like to be in for recording. The build quality for $37 goes way above and beyond what I would expect. And even though other content creators had prepared me for the sound quality, it has to be said that the sound quality exceeded my expectations, and especially when you put on this price tag of $37, which of course is just the biggest pro of them all. $37 for this microphone. Now I'm going to tell you a couple of things that transpired when using this with podcasting. I got several messages from people, but the one that really stuck out to me is when one of my co-hosts chimed in after I had been using the SM58, and then I switched to this microphone, and then back to the SM58, and he said, and I quote, "You don't sound as crisp and as clear as you did last week." He was referring to this mic because I was on the SM58, and I was pretty startled because I think the SM58 has a really good sound to it. So I think that's pretty high praise. Now, there are a couple of things that I did want to point out. When I first used the microphone, I thought it was just right on the edge of being sibilant. But the more I use the microphone, the less I think that to be true. And it is quite possible I had some processing turned on the Rodecaster Duo when I first used it, and maybe that is what I was hearing. But the more I use it, the more I am not getting that sense of sibilance. Even if I were, the tiny bit of sibilance that I was hearing would just be negligible and be something I would remove in post. Or if I'm using a device like the Rodecaster Duo, I would simply turn on the de-esser. And when not exercising good mic technique, you can blow some plosives down the end of this guy. And I was having trouble trying to get a mic windscreen to fit it. This is just a stage mic windscreen, and it's a struggle to get on. And I was a little annoyed that I didn't have anything on hand that fit it perfectly, so I thought. But come to find out, the PreSonus PD70 windscreen fits like a glove. And I think it looks really good on this microphone. Overall, I think this microphone is pretty fantastic. And I can't wait to put it head to head with some of my other favorite budget dynamic microphones in this style of format anyway. And that'll take place in an upcoming video. Financial investment wise, if you think about it and you get 4 of these microphones and you had to ship them to co-host, or you built an in-home studio or what have you, you would be looking at less than $150 at $37 a piece. That even beats my Zoom ZDM1 setup, where I've sent out 6 or 8 of those microphones to co-host. If you outfitted a studio with the Zoom ZDM1, you'd be talking $200. If you did it with the Rode Pod mic, you'd be talking $400. If you were crazy and you did it with the SM7B, you'd be talking roughly $1,600 if you got 4 of those. So for under $150, if you had to outfit a home studio for guests and such, what a great value proposition. I can't wait to get into the comments and read what you thought about the sound. But to my ears, it sounds very good. And like I said, I cannot wait to put it up against some other budget dynamic microphones. I have a really cool idea that I'm putting together for that video that'll get you involved, as well as some others, both familiar and new to the channel. So be on the lookout for that video and some more challenge videos coming up very, very soon. We have an excellent value here, but what do you say? Chime in the comments down below. As always, thank you.